never stop working hard. Each day I feel I have to improve. Hard work, determination. I've got to keep pushing myself. I remember when I was 5 years old, dunking in trash cans on my knees, waiting for that day I would be able to really do it. And then one day, it happened. I was in the 9th grade. It was a JV game, and I was only 5'8". Now, in practice, I've never been able to get up that high, but the adrenaline was pumping, and I just took off. It all happened so fast. I wasn't quite sure what I'd done, but you know, I just really loved that feeling. Hi, my name is Michael Jordan. I want you to take a trip with me and discover the secrets that I've known for many years, that man was truly destined to fly.
A young man with dreams of greatness on the baseball diamond, possessing the burning desire that could get him there. These are visions of what might have been. But reality has never looked so good. Yesterday's Little League hero has become today's most captivating athlete. His elegance on the court has transformed the game into an art form. A relentless competitor who fears no one. He overwhelms the opposition, patrolling the airways with a reckless abandon. He is an unyielding defender with uncanny instincts. Thriving in adversity, he will always find a way. And while strength is usually found in numbers, his comes from within.
I'll tell you a story that I think summed the whole thing up. We was playing Chicago in Salt Lake. They switched and put John Stockton on it, and he turned around and dunked on Stockton. So some guy got up and almost followed him down the sideline and said, "Hey, Jordan, pick on somebody your own size." Next time down the floor, he dunked on Mel Turpin. And went over and looked at the guy and said, "Was he big enough?"
His astounding ability seems boundless.
The guy literally is embarrassing the league. He's that good. He's a phenomenal player. There isn't anything he can't do.
Michael in from the left side, jammed it right over Rollins. Michael Jordan.
And in his quest for perfection, he takes the game to new heights.
The perfect player to me is probably 6'5", 6'6", 200 pounds, jump like Michael Jordan, wear number 23 like Michael Jordan, and shoot like and play like Michael Jordan.
Jordan into the front court, in on Neil Wagner, oh, what a dunk! Dale Ellis off to the right, Jordan on the drive, falls down underneath. Ball loose, McDaniel had it stolen by Jordan. Michael's got a breakaway, this game is over.
The lead pass to Michael Jordan, this spells trouble.
Jordan, who has it on the break, driving all the way in. Oh, God, an unbelievable move! He put it in and it counts!
But greatness sometimes springs from humble beginnings. As a 5'11" sophomore, young Michael was noticeably absent from the varsity team.
Yes, I'm the coach who cut Michael as a sophomore. We did it because we thought at the time it was the best thing for him and for our basketball program. He was still growing, he was a good ball player, but we didn't think he was good enough yet to really make the contribution on the varsity that we felt we needed.
Determined to prove his coach wrong, Michael worked harder than ever, growing 4 inches and improving dramatically over the next 2 years. He would shatter all of Laney's scoring records while leading the Buccaneers to their first ever conference championship. The high school All-American chose the University of North Carolina, and academic advice was soon to follow.
And I told him to go into math, but that's where the money was, which I think's hilarious. He probably does too.
Concerned about Michael's future employment, Laney's principal wanted him to attend
The Air Force academies are always a very excellent educational choice, and certainly the commitment to the armed forces would have given him employment after college.
This one-man squadron would eventually form his own Air Force, Air Jordan. Chapel Hill, home of the University of North Carolina, a school rich in basketball tradition. Initially, skepticism arose as to whether Michael could excel at the college level.
Coming up in high school, I wasn't that known as a basketball player. I wasn't that known until I came to North Carolina, and no one in Wilmington thought I could really step in and play a lot of time. I mean, everyone felt I was going to go to North Carolina and sit on the bench for 4 years and then come back home and work at a local gas station or something.
But no one anticipated that fame would come so quickly.
The time, 18. Shot, Jordan! Michael Jordan!
In the 1982 championship game versus Georgetown, the freshman had delivered to Coach Smith his first national title, and a star was born.
And a lot of people didn't know I existed until I got here. So when I hit that shot, I felt like I was different. You know, I won a national championship. I think the people started to recognize my talents more, and I started to get more publicity in that sense. So I think that shot really put me on the map, if you want to say.
Michael's winning basket propelled him into the national spotlight, and a new aura of confidence was apparent to all.
What Michael really did was improve considerably between his freshman and sophomore year. He grew a couple inches, he matured physically, and just became a sensational player. He was very inconsistent as a freshman, but he's one of the most competitive ones we've ever had in our drills. He wanted to get better, and then he had the ability to get better.
There's a steal by Doherty. Here comes Michael Jordan. Matt Doherty passes to Jordan. I guess that is a pretty fitting end to the ballgame. Jordan, look at that! Kenny Smith looking for Jordan.
In practice, Michael barraged his teammates with his game-time moves.
We always had to go against each other every day, and trying to stop him was just, it was a joke, really. Of course, we had to force him baseline. He'd get around the baseline, it was dunk, and then you go in the locker room after practice, and he would remind you all night long.
Jordan coasted through his sophomore campaign, capturing Player of the Year honors. But the pressures of a #1 ranking hindered his play early in his junior season. The excessive expectations had him trying too hard to please others, and he needed guidance to redirect his focus.
Coach Smith could notice it. I mean, he showed me film from my sophomore year and the beginning of my junior year, and it looked like a total different person. It made me see exactly what success had done to me, and I was able to deal with it from that point on. I remember we were playing NC State, and I cut my hair. I was bald-headed. I said, I'm washing away with the way I started off with the season. I set my own expectations of myself, and I just started to play better basketball.
Michael would rebound beautifully.
About 14, rebound.
Dominate the competition, and go on to lead the ACC in scoring. But after being named the top collegiate in the nation for the 2nd consecutive season, he made the difficult decision to walk away from Chapel Hill and forego his senior year.
Well, to tell you the truth, I really just decided, I guess, an hour and a half ago. I didn't know I was, 50-50, and I talked to Coach this morning, and he helped me, and my parents helped me, and everything looks bright for me, and it's I think the future holds, hopefully, the best for me, and I just, I felt that would be better for me to start now while I'm young.
Although Michael went hardship, he returned to Carolina the following summer to get his degree. More immediately, he was about to become the cornerstone of a rebuilding Chicago franchise.
The Chicago Bulls picked Michael Jordan of the University of North Carolina.
In preparation for the Los Angeles Olympics, Jordan led Team USA to a 9-0 record in a series of exhibitions against NBA talent.
What I liked most about Mike was the fact that like everybody, he had some lapses in play and how hard he played, and yet all you had to do with him was go up and take him by the arm and say, Michael, you're not playing as well as you can play. And he'd just kind of look at you and grin and say, I know. And he'd go out and play harder, and he'd play better. And you put his willingness to compete with his athletic ability and his basketball skill, and that's why I simply have always said, since having had a chance to be around him, that he's just the best player I've ever seen play.
Named team co-captain by Bobby Knight, Michael made it clear he would have no problems with the fiery coach.
And he wants the best for his players, and, you know, really that's somewhat similar to Coach Smith, except for the language, but, you know, I can get up with that.
When the moment arrived, Michael was all business. The 23rd Olympiad would provide the forum. The glory of a gold medal was paramount. And playing against the rest of the basketball world, Michael would tower above the competition. The United States had a team deep in talent, but Jordan would emerge as the undisputable driving force. With Michael leading the team in scoring, the Olympic squad routed the opposition by an average margin of 33 points en route to a stellar 8-0 record. The gold medal game versus Spain was no different. Spearheading the blowout was the skinny kid from Wilmington, whose Olympic brilliance will always be remembered.
That was a special moment for me because I guess I can go back to his childhood days, and he always said to me, one day I'll be Olympian, and I said, yeah, sure. And then to win the gold medal, I mean, it was so thrilling. It was one of my special moments, and I always remember. And when he put it around my neck, that was a special bond that I guess will be with me in memories that no one would take away from me.
It was in this house in Wilmington, North Carolina, where Michael's parents taught him the values of hard work and how to set goals to achieve his dreams. But it was his daily battles in the backyard with his older brother Larry that fueled his competitive drive.
Sanders ahead to Paxson. Pax with a lob for Jordan. Jordan steals it. Michael in deep. Turnaround shot.
We used to play an awful lot. You know, we would play every day. And I always normally beat him.
The thing that always drove Michael crazy was that Larry would beat up on him so much. And I think that he really got competitive playing his own brother.
So he really helped me create some determination in myself to beat him. If I could beat him, I felt I could beat anybody. And finally, when I started to grow and my skills started to catch up with my height, I started to beat him convincingly.
Equally deserving of the credit is someone who showed him how to put it through the hoop.
Keep your eye on the rim and concentrate.
Like this. Like that?
No, like this. Like this. Like this. Like this, Michael. And now give it some razzle-dazzle.
That's my mom.
Obviously, Michael derives his athletic ability from his mother's side. But how does one explain his 6'6" frame? After all, there hasn't been a Jordan over 6 feet in recent memory.
I joke with my mother all the time about that. I often ask her how tall was the mailman or the milkman.
Everybody, before they talk to me, like maybe I talk to someone on the phone and they go, well, how tall are you? You know, I go, oh, I'm only 5'5", and they go, but how is Michael so tall? Who else is tall? And I go, Michael's the only taller in my family. And my dad's next, but he's only 6 feet. And they go, well, why is that? I go, I don't know, but I've seen the milkman, and I know it's not it.
I've thought about that often, and I've come to one conclusion. Occasionally, you'll meet people that you look at and you just know that they were born to do one thing. And God looked at Michael and knew that this kid would starve if he had to work. So he says, I better make an athlete out of him.
So is it true Mr. Jordan would find Michael hanging from his chin-up bar, stretching himself in an attempt to grow taller?
I tried to do that. I always wanted to be 7 feet, and I never could get that tall. I tried it a few times. I saw it on TV a few times, on the Brady Bunch or something like that, I saw that, and I tried to do it, and it didn't. I don't think it worked, but I'm tall, so it may have.
And your dad's reaction when he found out?
He thought I was nuts.
And that's exactly what he drove NBA defenses. Staging an aerial display, the rookie left fans awestruck, collecting rave reviews at every stop, often unbelievable when running the floor. He was virtually unstoppable in the air. Air Jordan had landed, and the NBA would never be the same. More than just a scorer, the emerging superstar sought to create for others. Quickly becoming Chicago's leader, he sparked the Bulls with his contagious intensity. Michael was high-stepping his way to instant legend status and having a great time along the way.
They have outscored the Bucks 9-0 here. Here comes Mr. Jordan is right.
Everyone was trying to catch a glimpse of Jordan's high wire act. And he sent no one home disappointed. Chicago was his. The Bulls were a hot ticket. And Michael was heir apparent to the title of NBA's premier ambassador. In only a year's time, he journeyed from Chapel Hill to Olympic stardom. With a schedule so hectic, he had to wait for a Bulls West Coast road trip to pick up the College Player of the Year award, which fit nicely alongside his next trophy, the NBA Rookie of the Year. Injury. An athlete's worst nightmare. Not even the NBA's most celebrated performer could escape its wrath. In only the third game of his second professional season, Michael would hobble to the bench in great pain. But no one could foresee that almost an entire season would be lost. Trying to adjust was not an easy task.
Mentally, it was very hard for me to deal with because I wanted to get out and play. I was so used to playing whenever I wanted to play. And here I couldn't play because of my injury.
At first, the 4-week prognosis was something Michael could deal with. But as the weeks turned into months, his frustration mounted with each passing game. The unfamiliar role of bystander had Michael at wit's end, and he needed to find a way to lessen the pain. Seeking comfort, the legendary Tar Heel returned to Chapel Hill. It was in this gym where the rehabilitation process would begin. Michael renewed his fervor for the game as his foot continued to get stronger.
Once I got that confidence and the feeling in the foot was getting stronger as I continued to play, it wasn't nothing anyone could have said that could stop me.
But concerned about re-injury, the Bulls wanted to delay his return. A rigorous training regimen was implemented to secure full recovery. Patiently, Michael waited for his day to come.
Checking into the game for the Bulls. He's back! Number 23, Michael Jordan!
Everybody told me, you're a fool for playing. You should go home and relax and come back next season and see what happens.
There's the double. Jordan jam.
Michael!
Jordan was playing better than ever, but fearing a career-ending setback, Chicago's coaching staff limited his play to only 7 minutes a half. The star's patience was extended once again.
Once I got that opportunity to play, I felt I had to prove to people that I knew what I was doing. I was a competent individual. I wasn't doing anything to jeopardize my career. I really felt that I was healthy, I was back, and I wanted to make the playoffs. I always said that once I'm in Chicago, if I have anything to do with it, to make the playoffs each year.
Dateline, the playoffs. Mighty Boston sought their 16th World Championship. And for one afternoon, the time-honored legacy of Celtic pride would be confirmed.